Hey friend, welcome to Pitch Your Film and TV Project. I'm Roger Coles, a Canva verified expert and content creator. Today we're diving into one of the most powerful ways to bring your idea to life, the pitch deck. Whether you're presenting to a studio, applying for a grant, or sharing your concept with collaborators, a well-designed pitch deck helps you tell your story visually and professionally. By the end of this workshop, you'll be able to customize and structure a pitch deck using Canva templates, use your brand kit for consistency across slides, enhance your presentation with visuals, animation, and media, and share your deck and see how others are engaging with it. Let's get into it. Something to keep in mind is that how your pitch deck comes together might shift a bit depending on how you're sharing it. For instance, if you're sharing it live, you might go heavier on the visuals and lighter on the text. If it's a Zoom, maybe you walk folks through it slide by slide. And if you're emailing it out, you'll probably want it to tell the story on its own. The great thing is that Canva templates give you a solid starting point no matter how you're sharing it, and you can customize it based on who's seeing it and how you're presenting it. Before you start editing the pitch deck templates in Canva, it's a good idea to set up your brand kit. This is going to make it so much easier and faster to customize designs to match the look for your film. So in order to get there, you're going to go over here to the left-hand side, and we're going to go down to brand. And on the left-hand side, you'll see that we have brand kits. You can have up to 100 brand kits on Pro and up to 1,000 brand kits on Teams. I've created a brand kit for a fictional film called The Last Memory. So we're going to open this one up here. And the first thing you'll see is that with a brand kit, you can add in things like logos, colors, and fonts. Maybe you want to have some different laurels of awards that you've won, or maybe your studio logo. In order to add a new logo, click on Add New, go over to Upload Logos, and then add your logo here and click Open. It's automatically going to be added to the logos, and now when we start designing later on, it'll be easy for us to pull that logo in. Next up, you can add in all of the colors in your color palette for your brand's project. So this is really helpful because you're going to be able to customize a template in just a couple of clicks once you have this set up. If you're still in the exploring phase and you're not really sure about what your color palette's going to look like, then Canva has some that you can use by going over to Add New, click on Add Palette, and here you can explore a bunch of pre-made palettes that Canva has already put together for you. In order to add in a new color, click on Add New, and you'll drop in your hex code right here. Canva is also able to pull out a color palette from any photo within the Canva editor. So in order to pull colors from a photo, you'll simply select an element in the editor, go up to the color picker here, and then you'll see that Canva has generated a color palette based on this photo. So we could start to go ahead and select this circle, and then we'll grab this color here, and then we'll grab this color here. If you feel like there's anything missing, then you can actually use the color picker by selecting one of these shapes, clicking on this plus sign here to add a new color. We'll click on the eyedropper tool, and this allows us to pick not only any color that's in the photo, but any color that's on the screen. Once you've got these colors, now you can simply copy and paste the hex code. To find the hex code, you'll click here, click on the color picker, click right over here to add a new color. And this string of letters and numbers, that's going to be what you actually copy, and you're going to bring over into the brand kit area here. Click on Add New, and you can paste in that hex code. You can add all of your fonts here to this area as well. I recommend at least adding in the heading, the subheading, and the body. In order to change out the font, you'll simply select right here and click on this drop down, and you'll have access to Canva's entire library of fonts. You can also search by keyword. So if you wanted to search for something like sci-fi, then you'd be able to find any fonts that meet that search criteria. You can also add in your brand voice. This is where Canva is going to pull anything whenever you're using Magic Write or any of the AI generative features within Canva. This will be the tone of voice that it uses to generate that copy. And then of course you can add in all of your photos, any stills that you have, even if it's just inspiration as you're trying to put a mood board together or get a concept put together. And then things like graphics as well. These might be textures or things that you will use throughout the film or throughout your project. So we're gonna head to canva.com/entertainment, and we're gonna go to TV and Film Pitch Deck. And we're gonna choose one of the pre-made presentation templates, and I'm gonna go for this one right here. Okay, so here's what the presentation looks like before we've made any changes to it, but we wanna customize this so that it fits our project. So we're gonna come back up here to the top, and we're gonna go over here to the Design tab, and then go to Styles. And you can see that we have our brand fonts and our color palette all loaded up for our project. And if you want to select a different brand kit, then you can just click right here on this little drop down and you'll be able to select one of your other brand kits. The first thing we're going to do is click right here and swap out our brand fonts. So we click on that one time and bam, everything automatically changes. But we want that font on every single page in our presentation. So we're going to go down here and click on Apply to All Pages. Now, when we scroll through our presentation, you can see that everything matches our brand fonts. So we're gonna do the same thing with our color palette right here, but there's not a whole lot of colors on this first page, so I'll actually scroll down here so that I can see what it might look like on this page. So I'm gonna click color palette one time and it's gonna automatically change it. But if you're not happy with that first pass, then click on it again and you can shuffle through all of the other colors that are in your color palette. And then if you're happy with that, you'll come down here and click Apply to All Pages. So now you can see that our presentation is really starting to look more like our film. And of course, we can swap out all of the photos. So since we already have a cover image, I'm gonna go ahead and add that in now. I'm gonna go over to the left-hand side and click on Brand. And here you can see we've got our logos, we've got our color palette, we've got our fonts, but we also have all of those photos that we added into the brand kit area. So let's click on See All, and I'm going to search for my cover photo and just click and drag it in to replace the photo that's there in the template. And of course I can move things around, and if I just double click here, I'll be able to change this to the last memory. And we can resize this text block and shrink it down if we need to. And then of course we could add in some of our extra little laurels right here or any logos that we may have. And we can start to customize a few of these pages for things like a log line and then drag and drop our photo. If you want to crop, then just double click on your image and you'll be able to resize it and move things around. Let's customize some of these character pages by, again, pulling photos from our brand kit area. Let's go ahead and swap out the main character, and then we can also change the background to a different color in our color palette, just to mix things up. If you need multiple versions of the same slide, let's say that you wanted to have multiple characters, then you can simply hover over your slide, click these three dots, and then duplicate that page. And we can start to build out more character pages. So of course you have access to Canva's entire photo library by going to Elements and searching for anything that's relevant to your project. But you can also pull images from ShotDeck, the world's largest library of cinematic images. So if you already have a ShotDeck account, Canva now integrates directly with ShotDeck. And if you've been building out decks and you already have folders there for composition and for lighting and for the tone of your film, then you can pull in those images into your designs within Canva. So in order to do that, you're going to go over here to the object panel and go down to Apps, and you're going to search for ShotDeck. And you'll see that we have this right here, and when we click on that, we can open this up right here. We're going to connect our ShotDeck account so that it integrates with Canva, and here you'll enter in your login information. Once you've added your account, you're going to have access to search through all of ShotDeck's library, or you can search through any of the decks that you've already created. So since I've already created one for the last memory, I have lighting, composition, and tone. So I could start to edit this by saying lighting, and then let's say that I want to bring in these three images here. You can also add videos to your presentation, which is a great opportunity to showcase a trailer for your film or TV project. Once you've chosen a template, you're not stuck with that layout. You can actually mix and match styles. You can combine multiple templates by copying slides into one deck to get the exact look that you want. So to do that, we're going to go over here back to the design tab, and this time we're going to go to templates, because maybe we want like a roadmap or a timeline. We can actually search for timeline here, and then let's add a new page to our presentation. And let's go ahead and snag this template right here. It's automatically added into our presentation. And then we can go through the same things with this one where we have this selected, and we'll go to styles, and we're gonna swap out the fonts, and we're gonna go and change the colors so that everything matches the rest of our project. Okay, now let's enhance your pitch and prep it for sharing. We're going to use Magic Animate to create smooth slide transitions and add movement to your visuals. So if you don't already see the page thumbnails at the bottom of your page here, you're going to go down here on the right-hand side and click Show Page Thumbnails. Now with our first slide selected, we're going to go up here to Animate, and you'll see that we have this option that says Magic Animate. Instantly animate all pages in a style of your choice. So let's click on that here. And if you just hover over any one of these, you're going to get a preview of what that animation is going to look like. So I really like this one right here. So I'm going to select that. You'll notice that it's automatically applied to this slide. And now we can see that there are even transitions in between some of these slides down here. So let's go into present mode so that we can see what that looks like. So we're going to go up here to the top right where it says present, click on that. And we're going to present in full screen for right now. So let's just click present. And here you can see all of those different animations at play. While you're in present mode, you'll notice this little keyboard down here at the bottom. These are magic shortcuts, and they're all keyboard shortcuts that you can use to add some animations and make your presentation that much more engaging. So for instance, if I were to hit the U key, I can close the curtain and open the curtain. Or if I hit the C key, then I can add in a little bit of confetti. Or if we click the M key, we can add in a mic drop. So these are just really fun ways to keep your audience engaged. Canva has a great feature called Hide Slides to quickly create tailored versions without having to rebuild your entire deck from scratch. To hide a slide, hover over the slide you want to hide and click the three dots and simply click Hide Page. This slide will now be hidden from anyone being able to see it while you're presenting. Another fun way to spice up your presentations is by adding a little bit of sound or audio. And you can do that by going over here to the Elements tab, and let's say that we're looking for something epic. So we'll search for epic here, and then we're going to go over here to audio, and let's get a preview of this one. Okay, that sounds pretty epic to me. So once you find a sound that you like, you'll just click and you can drag that onto the slide that you want it to play on. And then we can also bring down the volume while we have our audio selected by going up to our volume button here. Let's say we just want it to be very subtle in the background. So now when we go into present mode, this is what we'll hear and see. When you're happy with your presentation and it's time to share it, you already know that you can present directly from within Canva, but you can also download this. So you would click on download, and then you could choose a PDF, or you could also choose to download this as a PowerPoint file, or you could choose to share this as a public view link. To do that, you would click on public view link here and then copy this link, and this would be the link that you would send out to those that you want to see the presentation. So this is what it will look like for them, and they'll be able to go through each of these slides. The great thing about public view links is that you can actually track the analytics. So if you click this button right here, you'll be able to see the public view links data by clicking on this, seeing the total unique visitors, the number of visits, or we can drill down and really look at the nitty-gritty details by clicking right here. We can see what device people are viewing it on, what location they're coming from. We can also see the average time spent on this design, and we can see which pages were the most popular. Real-time insights with no guesswork. If you're ever worried about being in a spot where you don't have an internet connection, but you still want to be able to present your presentation, find your design and hover over it. Click these 3 dots right here, and then you'll be able to choose Enable Offline Presenting so that you're good to go even without an internet connection. And that's a wrap on Pitch Your Film and TV Project. Now you've got everything you need to customize your pitch deck with your branding, use visuals to help your story stand out, and look like a pro and share your story with confidence. So here's your next step. Try one of Canva's film and TV pitch deck templates on canva.com/entertainment. Apply your brand kit to your slides. Add Magic Animate to a few key slides. Share your deck using a view link and test the tracking feature. Dive into the post-lesson activities and resources to deepen your learning. And of course, don't forget to pull in visuals using ShotDeck to help build out the world of your project. Whenever you're ready, head over to Workshop 3, where we'll walk through how to market your film or TV project with posters, websites, and promotional designs. I'll see you there.